So Gareth, we spent quite a lot of time on our videos talking about preparing for and managing and handling the situation where you get an objection in a sales call or a customer meeting, whatever you want to refer to that as. And we talked about the impact that has on us and also how to overcome it. However, the thing we haven't spoken about is the fact that people are objecting is very often because they got a view on what the solution should be. And very often that's the reason why they're making the objection in the first place. How do you, for want of a better word, exploit that human nature in the most positive way and in effect help your customer help you fix the problem?
Yeah, it's a very common thing and interesting just to realise that, Alex, and it's a great question, something to explore. Yeah, very often sellers will put pressure onto themselves to provide a solution, and they do that for good reasons. You know, they want to get the deal done, they want to do the right thing for their customers. But it's always worth remembering, as you said, that if there's an objection there, customers will have a view on it, and the fact that you've actually got to this point where an objection comes up is a huge, strong buying signal. Why would they even bother with the meeting if they didn't have a strong interest in what you can offer them? They've clearly got some views and opinions on what you could do for them and how it would work. And I think there's something to remember here, which is, look, we've spoken before about getting curious and using questions to explore the specifics of the issues and priorities. And once you're confident that you've got to the root cause of a potential objection and the specifics of it, then it's a super smart thing just to ask them for a solution.
And it sounds so easy when you put it like that, Gareth. And I think some people would maybe find that difficult to do. In other words, it seems too obvious. But I'd also suggest to you that sometimes, whilst that may provide really helpful answer, actually sometimes that may be irritating for the customer because in effect they kind of see through your ruse. Talk about both of those scenarios, one where it's effective, but also where actually, it may not be the best thing to do.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I mean, as I said, I think if you got to this point of a conversation, which is some way down the process, I think you're going to have a decent level of rapport. So I think it's about getting over that potential doubt that if I ask my customer, then they might give me something that I don't like or whatever. But let's just think about this. If they give you a solution and you've asked for it, and it's something that you can do and you want to do, that's so much more powerful than you giving them the solution, even if it's exactly the same, because most people generally like the things that they've come up with. It's just human nature. The other point about it is if they start to play some games and give you something that's ridiculous, well, probe it and just again ask and confirm whether that's the only deal that's acceptable to them. If it is, and that deal does not work for you, well, you're never going to get the deal. So you can respectfully walk away. And if it turns out that that's not actually their final offer and they're still interested, they'll come back. You haven't lost anything there. And I think one of the things is we often go chasing deals that you're never going to get. So it's also a really good tool for productivity, just to really finalize. If that's their final offer, if it's not acceptable for you, well, walk away. Go and deal with a customer and spend your resources and energy with a customer that you can do some deals with. You're very unlikely to ever get 100% market share. So it's about also sifting through what's a good deal for you, what's a good deal for them, and being clear on that, and not wasting time otherwise.
And I suppose just to finish, Gareth, if they are reticent to come up with a solution because they feel like you're getting them to do the hard work, actually getting behind and understanding what's driving the objection, getting curious about it in itself will give clues as to what some of the trigger points are and actually will help you think through some of those solutions more easily.
Absolutely.
Great tips. Thanks, Gareth.